Hello, back at it again. Real Talk with Mo. We're gonna get into another video. I'm really liking these reaction videos. Also, I'm staying real warm. Like I said, CB Lifestyle and Apparel is the brand. We make very warm hoodies, jackets, and so forth. So go get you one. Represent. Like I said, CB stands for counting blessings and chasing billions. Where could you go wrong with that? So get on with that. Let's go. We're getting into a reaction video. It's my first time reacting to a little Bill Maher clip. I like Bill Maher. I think he's funny. He's a comedian, so he likes to play on the edge of stuff. He's very liberal, very progressive. That's not my vibe, but sometimes he keeps it pretty real about stuff, and I like that. I like that you could keep it real, and when stuff looks stupid, you say call it out, and I'm with that, right? I'm not gonna agree with this dumb shit just because we think we on the same team. Dumb shit is dumb shit, and it should be dealt with that way. So I agree with that. So this is a little clip at Overtime video with Bari Weiss, Snyder, and Torres, one of a rep from New York. So it should be pretty interesting.
So, Overtime. Oh, I remember the guy from the beginning comes over. We haven't done this in a while. It's coming back to me. I remember you. You were on the beginning of the show. Okay, for the panel, is the mainstream media being unnecessarily harsh to President Biden? Well, apropos of what I was just talking about.
And see, this one, I don't even really know, but I know, if you somebody like, I think Bari Weiss is kind of getting to that point, like a Bill Maher, where she's going to call out bullshit, and she's been doing it pretty regularly now, but I know she's really left, right? Progressive, and she's been calling it out. But I think she's gonna keep on that role because she's been doing it a lot. She was on the Hill. She was on a bunch of different radio stuff. And I think this guy's a Democrat, and this Snyder guy is definitely progressive. So you just gotta watch how the gymnastics goes.
I don't know. What do you think?
I would say yes. The Biden presidency has been far more successful than the media has made it out to be. I mean, he passed the bipartisan infrastructure investment at a time when bipartisanship has never been more elusive. We've seen the fastest decline in unemployment to 3.9%.
See, when people say these things, because these shows, you can't really. That's why I love like a Joe Rogan type of show, or even like when Ben Shapiro has somebody on, just one where you can have a conversation and you can ask questions and you can dig a little deeper and so forth. So like when you say stuff like that and you don't have any type of pushback, I think that's just being negligent. Like you're not pushing back, bro. Unemployment rate, yeah, because it was already so bad, and then even that rate itself is so like flimsy that like people who stop looking for work is off of the unemployment, so the rate stops then. But that doesn't mean that people don't have work. They just had in November that 4.5 million people quit their jobs. In November alone, right? I remember doing a video on it on my Lumo podcast. So when you say that, like, that just doesn't gel. You're not making sense. And people are in the real world. But that's why I hate politicians, because politicians are the worst at this. They will ride the banner, the whatever side they on, they will ride that shit all the way into the ground.
Seeing the fastest rate of economic growth in nearly 4 decades. We've seen the creation of more than 6 million jobs. It's far from perfect, but by most objective metrics, it's been a success.
All right, so this is what I would ask. Well, what was the bad things? What were the things that he didn't do that he should have did? Where was the mistakes he made? Because from you saying, oh, it's far from perfect. Of course, anybody can say that bullshit. This is a politician answer. I hate that shit. I hate it. And just being around nowadays is making me even more upset with politicians, just period.
So why is his numbers so in the toilet?
Again, they got to pull something out their ass on this one, because you got to explain this, right? Because whatever you say should have went for Trump too, right? Whatever, it don't even matter. I don't even got to know his answer. But whatever he says, right? Why Biden's numbers are so low? He can say whatever he wants to say, but whatever he says, we got to still be able to apply that to Trump, who stayed in his 40s for most of the thing. We still got to apply it to that.
Okay, I think we live in a hyper-polarized political climate in which each political party has a perverse incentive to portray the other as the root of all evil and claim that the apocalypse is lurking at every moment. And just given the polarization in America, there's going to be a ceiling on how popular every future president will be, unfortunately.
But okay, I get that the Republicans, he's not going to get that 50%, but he's not doing great with the Democrats either.
And he's doing terribly with independents. I mean, I look at Glenn Youngkin's victory.
They should have let him answer, because he was about to say something. I wanted to hear his answer on that. I hate politicians. I really, and hate is a strong word. I don't want to say hate. Let me not say hate. I really dislike politicians.
For the governorship in Virginia, a state that went 10 points for Biden. Why did he win? Because the new swing voter, it's not the soccer mom, it's the COVID mom, is people who are absolutely enraged that 2 years into this virus, things still haven't gotten back to normal. Their kids are suffering learning loss and depression. Yes. They're watching what their kids are learning on Zoom, and it's like, anti-racism, but it's kind of neo-racist, and crime, and the things that have sort of become untouchable for Democrats to talk about. They should be running away with this right now. Why aren't they?
I think any president would have a tough time.
See, she's speaking some real shit. I told you, she's getting real fed up with this bullshit.
This pandemic. And the longer the pandemic goes on, the harder it is for...
I hope he said that at the same time with Trump with the pandemic. I hope he said those same words. Because they so pandering, they so like wishy-washy, flip-floppy. That shit drive me crazy.
The head of state to be popular, and I think this will probably turn around in 6 months. But I mean, the other thing which I think is going on here is that a president is judged by laws. You mentioned two very important ones.
See, and that's what I don't like when you say shit like that. Oh, it'll flip around in 6 months. I'm gonna hold you to it. You should hold your feet to the fire for that one, right? I'm gonna bet. We're gonna see, right? Because you talking out your ass. You can't even say why or to prove it.
Democrats had 2 more senators. We'd be living in the transformed country, and I think Biden would be a much more...
That's with every fucking president, bro. They all want the power. They all want, as if they had more power, they'd be great. Obama had everything, and still nothing passed. Nothing went by. Nothing was smoothly, pushed through. Stop with the bullshit. This is why you gotta watch how politicians, people around them talk, man. Because they talk and they always say the same shit over and over. They give it to you with a different type of spin, and people buy that shit. They always say that. Oh, if we had 2 more, man, you had the whole House. You have the majority in the Senate. What are you talking about? You have the tying vote. The Senate is 50-50 right now. The untying vote is Kamala Harris. So if they ever get to a vote that's 50-50, but sometimes they got to break it with the filibuster, I get that. But for the most part, they have it. They can't get nobody to agree with their bullshit.
Popular president.
Okay. Why?
That's why Bill Maher just like, oh, whatever.
Isn't Trump in jail yet? I know, you're going to applaud. All the crimes he's committed were done in plain sight and on national TV. Well, that's ridiculous. Hardly all the crimes he's committed. But yes,
That's so phony.
I always said that was his, I always say, he's not only stupid, he's crazy. You have to understand that about Trump. He's stupid and crazy. The crazy part is, like, he just speaks his interior monologue. He said recently, just like a few days ago, he said something about, it's not who votes, who counts the votes. I mean, Stalin used to say it, but privately. Stalin said it privately. He says it right out. And there's something about that. When you do a crime in public, people don't think it's a crime. It's like the guy who cheats on his wife at the middle of the restaurant with some, honey, would I be, if I was fucking her, would I be eating with her at the most popular restaurant in town? You know, that's his, the crazy works for him.
It's a sign of, sadly, I think it's a sign of how we're between two stools as a country. If we were, if we were a proper authoritarian regime and you carried out a failed coup, something very bad would happen to you, right?
Right.
We're not there.
Right. He tried.
Yet.
Right. When in Turkey,
if we were a proper rule of law,
a coup? They be exaggerating shit so much, bro. You know, fucking coup is. You know what a coup is? That's why they crazy.
Right.
And you carried out a failed coup, you would be prosecuted, as happens in other democracies.
You're so.
Bro, Bill Maher just be. I think he be getting lost in the sauce. Bro, this dude talking about a coup and all this shit. Ain't no coup was, bro. Nobody tried to pull no fucking fast. He ain't try to take over the presidency. It's the same way that Biden is saying the 2020. That's what he should have asked. Why is Biden saying the 2022 election is gonna be illegitimate? Why is he saying that?
We are somewhere in between.
Right.
That is our problem.
You're right. In Turkey, they tried one.
That is our problem. No, that's not our problem. That's what makes our country great, that we are in between that. And you can't be an authoritarian and just go and just prosecute somebody because you thinking they're doing a coup and just because a few of you said it, or you don't, there's not enough to prove that he's doing it. That's the other side. That's what our problem is. That's what makes us great.
On Erdogan a couple of years ago, remember that?
Yeah.
And those people are not sitting home watching Shark Tank. They are dead or in jail. Yes, I mean, he was ruthless about that. And you're right, we're in the middle. So we because that was a coup attempt and it doesn't matter. He's still out there. Anything else? Is that enough overtime, or do we?
I'm still understanding what the coup attempt is, but this is what you gotta deal with, man. Politician and then an academic, right? Academia, probably, graduated and high, this and that, blah, 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 knows all the words, writes books and shit, and then loves to just talk shit and don't even live in the world. And that's the same reason why we are where we are now with, shit going on, unemployment. They can talk about unemployment all they want. There's so many fucking people now hiring, it's fucking crazy. Every place is now hiring because there ain't nobody working. So obviously, if they not working there, where the hell is everybody working? Right? You got that. You got crime in these cities. You got all this shit going on. They just ignore that shit to the end. That's why you got to really think for yourself, man. Stop letting these people think for you. Stop going along with their bullshit just because they on your team, or you think they on your team, or they say some real shit one time and all of a sudden now they on your team forever. Stop with the bullshit. Think for yourself. Catch me on the next Real Talk with Mo.